What is up, guys? It is your friend Listman88 here with another list video here for you today. In this video we will be counting down the top 5 things in movies that annoy me the most that you will see in movies and TV shows. Everyone enjoys a good movie or TV show episode, but we would be foolish to suggest that even the best of these media forms do not have their problems. Whether subjective or objective, big or small, these problems are ones that I do not like. They are gross, ill, disgusting. Get it away from me. I'm just kidding. Otherwise there would be nothing for me to watch. So it was just a joke. Ha, ha, ha. Ha 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 ha. Number 5. Everyone is hot. Perhaps one of the most unrealistic things about movies and television is what people in them look like. Almost everyone looks attractive, and in the off chance they have an average or below physical appearance, they are usually characters we are not supposed to like. But the real world is so far from what we see on the screen. Most people do not look like that, and they're setting a very high bar for what to aspire to. Take even a nerdy young character, for example, that gets bullied in school. Such people in real life unfortunately aren't that nice to look at, but the nerds in film, especially if they are main characters, are usually quite attractive, usually to appeal to teenage audiences. And that's the main point of it all. Hollywood uses attractive people because they are easier to sell, but that's hardly fair if you've got unlucky in the genetic lottery. I'm sure there are plenty of amazing actors that will never see themselves in films and TV because of their appearance, even though a majority of the characters' roles would realistically cater to someone of average looks. Number 4. Facial hair and makeup in apocalypse movies. Similar to the last point, it's one thing that in fake movie land everyone looks a lot more attractive than your average Joe. But if they still look good in a disastrous situation, well, personally that is too far of a stretch. When the world is ending, there is no reason for someone to worry about how they look, when survival should be goal number 1. Often characters will grow beards due to these situations, but they usually look even. 90% of the time guys do not grow beards this way in the real world. They may have hair longer or shorter in some spots, hair in the wrong places and not enough where they'd want it. This just adds to people looking too good for reality. And the beard thing is one thing, but makeup is a whole step further. Every male character having even beards in a survival situation is possible, albeit extremely unlikely. But there is no way that women would put on makeup in these scenarios, let alone have access to makeup products. This part especially can easily take you out of an end-of-the-world scenario, when instead of looking like they are desperately clinging to their lives, they look like they have been done up, then rolled around in dirt and splashed a bit of blood on themselves. The presence of grime does not make the presence of lipstick acceptable. Number 3. The entirety of the Pixar's Cars franchise. I have had sleepless nights thinking about how this world works. While its stories are nice and enjoyable, this world does not make any sense. Not only are the mechanical and biological hybrids they call cars abominations that should not exist, they don't explain how they come to exist. How are cars born? Are the cars born? Do cars need to procreate? Do cars lay eggs? Are cars manufactured? In Cars 3 it is implied that Lightning McQueen is getting older, but he looks and sounds no different. But there are cars that are older and child cars as well. Cars can die and seemingly from old age. But is that due to their mechanical parts failing or some biological system dying? How did all of the buildings get there? Who made them? Is the entire Cars planet relying on the weird pit stop cars with the armed forklift things to make and maintain the technology? There's a Pope car, so religion exists. Was there a Jesus car? Considering how the generation of car models in Cars 3 mirror the style that cars were in our real world, how could there be a Cars Jesus set in 0 AD? Do Catholic cars believe in something that isn't a car? Are there even Catholic cars? Does the Pope represent something else? It's too much. It's too much. Pope car. 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 Number 2. Everyone speaks English. No matter the country, no matter the planet, the main characters of a movie will probably be able to speak English in a movie directed at English-speaking viewers. Unless it is played off for comedic reasons, regardless of who is talking to who, they almost always know English. Some examples are as follows. All aliens are able to speak English in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, except for Groot because of comedy, despite English being a language based from Earth. Unless somehow some humans learn English from aliens way back in the day in the MCU canon, this can't be possible. Another bunch of English speakers that shouldn't be doing it are the Amazons in Wonder Woman. The Amazons are a group of female warriors from Themyscira, based on Greek mythology. So considering their connection to Greece, the language should be some sort of Greek or ancient Greek, not English. But the Themysciran warriors have no problem communicating with the American Steve Trevor, and possibly the most nonsensical iterations of English speakers in the non-English speaking places, a country supposed to be set in the real world. No aliens or magical warriors, just another country from around the globe. An example of this is the Japanese setting in the Fast and the Furious 3 Tokyo Drift. Fortunately for our American protagonist and the audience watching, every other main character in the show can speak English, despite living in Japan. But it's one thing to be able to all speak English and talk to our American when he's around, but it is completely world-breaking to continue speaking English when he is not, and it is only a discussion between other Japanese people. But this is exactly what we see. Sure, it makes things easier for the viewer, but it is really stupid. And now for some... Number 1. Replacing all of the redheads. This is one of the most unusual trends I've noticed over the last decade of television and movies. The replacement of already established characters with red hair with modern counterparts that do not. Part of Hollywood's superficial attempt to appear more diverse is by remaking characters and having a person of color playing the new version of them, which isn't inherently wrong. I am personally indifferent to changing the appearance or even personalities of new versions of established characters, so long as they serve the story well. But the fact that it is almost always red-headed characters getting swapped out is very strange. They are not always replaced by a person of color, but it's frequent enough that it sticks out, almost as if they are replacing one minority with another. But characters may even stay white but not just have red hair in their new adaptations. Although this is more prominent in comic book characters, the redhead removal has been happening for a while, and it definitely seems like Hollywood has a grudge against them. Like, it is ridiculous. There are so many. An explanation would be nice. And that concludes this top 5 list. I have been your boy Listman88. If you just loved what you saw today, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, as he is watching me. Help